It's time for The King and the Cop with the legendary former MLB great Jim Leyritz. And with 100 years of law enforcement in his blood, Tommy Sedner. It's all things sports, plus cop talk, current events, entertainment, and more. Joined by America's favorite Jersey girl, Robin DeLory. It's The King and the Cop.
And the pitch. Deep to left. There it goes. He's run away from Ruth. Home run number 59 for Aaron Judge. And it's 10-4 Yankees.
Wow. Unbelievable.
It's Monday, September 19th.
Unbelievable.
That's what I was waiting for. Happy Monday, everyone. I'm trying to be in a good mood for you because I know that's my job. I want to say, everybody, let's just be so happy it's Monday. But if you're in a bad mood, that's okay too. And we will cheer you up with lunchtime with the King and the Cop. We promise. We've got a lot of good food here. We've got a lot of great stories here. And we are going to start your week off just splendiferously.
What the hell is splendiferous?
I think I just made it up.
I got a hard enough time using the right grammar when it comes to my favorite deli, which is, again...
Oh,
behind.
yeah. Okay. We were going to start with that already?
Well, my friend Kerry sent me 2 sandwiches today.
So then you need to say it the right way. We ordered from our favorite place. Yet once again, I'm going to get very heavy doing this show. I can tell you that much. Heavier.
Well, before
because I love food. But drum roll.
I surprised you today.
Say it.
I don't know.
Tommy.
I can't do it.
Vespucci's.
Vespucci's.
Say it again. Lock it in.
Vespucci's, owned by the Ganellos, Kerry and John. The King will be joining us at 12:15 today from the golf course. He's at a charity golf tournament.
I wish I could eat this on the air.
Well, you know what
I have misophonia. Do you know what that is?
I ordered a sloppy Joe because we're going to get to it. Quarterback of the Jets, Joe Flacco, was anything but sloppy, but that's a hell of a sandwich they make.
We're going to get to it, but that reminds me of another thing.
What?
That's another thing that we do in North Jersey.
What?
A sloppy Joe is not what is in this bag.
I know. It drives me crazy.
Yeah,
I went to
like
Catholic
a sloppy
school
Joe is like a
ground...
manwich.
Yeah, that's exactly when I went to Sacred Heart in South Amboy. That was our favorite sloppy Joes. Of course, you couldn't get them on Friday during Lent. But that being said, the second sandwich I ordered was with a purpose today, which I also like. It's called the Stephen Crane sandwich, and that's Stephen Crane Village. You know who's from Stephen Crane Village?
You're just too good to be true.
You got that?
Can't take my eyes off of you.
That's right, pretty wife. That's Frankie Valli. And guess who's too good to be true? Big Blue.
Yeah. All right.
Giants.
Listen.
But I can't start there.
Listen, if you want to start there, I have something to say about it.
What?
I'm a Giants fan. Actually, truth be told, people, I could really care less about sports.
Right. Why don't you stop?
But if I was going to be, I have to be the fan that my children are, you know? So I'm going to go with it. But I'm going to tell you, I also have to be a Mets fan because my children are Mets fans. And I just want to say, maybe it's because I'm a Mets fan and I'm kind of used to this. Don't get your knickers in a
bunch.
No, I don't think that's it. Don't get all excited. Don't count your chickens before they hatch. So they won 2 games. Big deal.
I agree. But, it's fun that the new coach is changing the temperature and changing and teaching them how to win.
They have a new coach?
Yeah, exactly. From Buffalo. And they just look a little different. And your boy got to celebrate. He went with his father yesterday for his 16th birthday. He got to go to the game.
My baby turned 16.
Speaking of Joey Boy, sophomore, Hanover Park football, sophomore, Joey Philippone led the team in tackles this week.
He did?
He did. That's the rumor.
The whole
going
team
around.
played well. Let's not be like Kathy Lee Gifford bragging about all of her children.
Screw the kids. It's his birthday. I'm bragging about Joey.
They all did well. Little freshman, sophomore got his first career touchdown.
Yeah, they did good.
Asmir, that was great. It was a great weekend in sports.
In the meantime, down in Old Bridge, we ran into a buzzsaw of a team, and we're 2-2. But my son-in-law will have Old Bridge Knights back Friday. Back playing the way they should be playing.
Well,
so
listen, I just have to say something. Tonight we're gonna have some macaroni, and we're gonna have cake for Joey because yesterday he went to the Giants game, and so I couldn't do his birthday yesterday. So we're gonna do it today.
That'll be fun.
I'm thinking I am going to change my mind and just order pizza.
Yeah, we're ordering pizza. On birthday notes, my dear friend, my West Coast brother, the former retired assistant sheriff of LA Sheriff, and also my right arm at Bowler Rap. We traveled the country for 4 years.
A lot of shenanigans together,
A
right?
lot of shenanigans. Mike Ruthens, happy birthday, my brother.
Happy birthday, Mike.
You're from your older brother by about 1 year and 2 months, but happy birthday. Love you, man. Really do. And to my mom, who's probably listening, just having a few tests in good old hospital today. She spent the night, but she's 85, Irish strong, and she'll be good. But I know she's probably listening. So
Hi, Mom.
we'll see
Feel
her
better.
later. She'll feel better. And then I just got this.
She's kicking butt.
She always does.
Yeah.
She always does.
And I get she's a VIP at that hospital. They love her.
Yeah, but we won't get into that because we don't want to get flooded with
I'm saying her
emails.
personality. She's a VIP. Everybody loves her.
She is beloved figure. She sure is. But I'm going to have you read this because the King just sent me a text message and he's going to come on at 12:15 and we got a lot to talk about. But I can't believe now he's even betraying me. I'm just going to get overwhelmed with the Italians here again. Read the text message the King just sent us.
Oh, can't read that one. I'm just kidding. We're going to have Joe Quagliano, who is the head of the Italian Baseball Federation, who's putting the tournaments on as a guest at 12:20. So Joey Quagliano is going to join us.
He's coming on.
Maybe he could have Michael Filippone play. He's Italian.
You know who the last manager of the Italian team was? for
Joe
the World
Torre?
Baseball? No, close. Your boy, your favorite player.
Oh my God, Bobby Valentine?
Mike Piazza. I
Oh.
thought Mike Piazza was your favorite player.
No, he is my favorite player, but Bobby was a manager,
Well,
so it was a good guess.
Is Bobby Valentine Italian?
I thought so.
Oh, I
Looks
don't know.
damn Italian to me.
I don't know. You know, and I was and
He's
we-
very handsome, so I think yes.
well, I'm not Italian. Am I handsome? You married a Polak Irishman.
You got lucky.
Why? How'd your first Italian husband make out?
Great. He has a 10 for a wife. he made out just fine.
My man Joe. Joe, the Giants are 2-0.
You're
and-
nasty.
No, well, you give everybody compliments these days, but me.
All right, here we go. While your mother's listening, now she's gonna think I'm a jerk.
Negative. So let's speak of marriages right now. While we're waiting for Jimmy, we're gonna bounce around and from our usual lineup that we have.
Well, I thought something about the lineup.
I'll say this. Let me say this about 1 second. Speaking of handsome, and I mean this, I said this on our radio show a few months ago. I don't know if there's a more handsome man when you take the totality of what goes on in his life than Tom Brady. Handsome, greatest football quarterback to ever play the game, maybe the greatest NFL player ever, Hall of Famer, 6 rings, I believe. I don't even know, maybe 7. I got to look it up. I'm done counting. Supermodel wife, 3 beautiful kids, 2 with Giselle, 1 with one of my favorite actresses and one of my Bridget Monahan, his oldest son. And they split. They're taking a break.
See, you never know. You never know. You just never know what goes on behind closed doors.
Well, the rumor has it that, he retired.
He's about to lose half of his rings.
More than that.
It's cheaper to keep her.
But do you know this? And not to count other people's money, she alone, allegedly, is worth $400 million.
Well, I think she is actually the most beautiful woman on the planet.
Yeah.
I do.
Well, I hope they work it out. I think
They
they will
will.
work it out.
They
And-
will.
And,
Although it had to be a pretty big deal for them to go public with that. Like, so it can't be just like a,
yeah, he basically comes on and gets asked the question instead of, again, he hasn't beat the Saints in the last 4 times. He goes down to New Orleans. They beat the Saints, and they're 2-0. And of course, he can't hide behind the question because he took an 11-day break out of a camp, and I guess they had to address some issues, and they're living separately, and she hasn't been at the games, and he has to answer the question. And he says, I'm a 45-year-old man right now going through a lot of S, or as we say in Polish, gówna. Figure it out.
Merde.
How do you say it in Italian?
Merde.
Yeah.
It's like when somebody calls you a merde faccia.
He's going through a lot of crap, plain and simple. But, that being said, he was a little, you could see out of sorts yesterday again, screaming at his players. He threw his, what do they call those tablets? Microsoft tablet. He threw it harder than he did the football on the sidelines yesterday again. But
he's about to lose half of his empire.
Yeah, well, he's got to go home to his wife and kids. And he signed a 10-year deal. Don't forget, with Fox, he's for 300 and something million.
I didn't forget. I never knew that.
Yeah, well, there you go. But hope it works out. Nobody roots against anybody. And, Tom Brady is by far great for the NFL. But sometimes, as we all learned, as they say, when you go at the end of the day and die and you're laying in your hospital bed, the old saying is nobody says, I wish I worked more. It's I wish I spent more time with my family.
Or like if he has a second wife and he's looking at her and he's thinking, I wish you looked like Giselle.
It's going to be he's the greatest quarterback, and she might be the greatest supermodel ever. I don't know about that, but
well, listen, I want to try this new thing on the show today.
What's that?
I
You're
know
gonna
that,
eat. You're gonna eat on the
no,
show?
because I have misophonia.
What's misophonia?
It's a thing. When you want to.
That sounds like something out of a Soprano.
No, you have to
character's
Google
mouth.
it. I might be saying it wrong, but when you can't hear somebody chew. Like I want to do physical
like
harm.
the dog chews and it drives me nuts every day.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you want to do physical harm, even though I'm a very peaceful person.
Right.
But like when my brother,
you're Italian, you're not peaceful.
When my brother eats, it's so loud that he's like the best brother in the world. I love him, but I want to punch him in the face when he eats. So how can I eat on a microphone in front of everybody? I'd be a hypocrite.
I hope everybody's hearing us okay, because I can't hear in my ear set again. Did you screw up my ear sets? Because you're my technology expert and I can't hear anything.
Did you turn it up?
Well, no, I don't.
Is that better?
I guess. I don't know. Yes, now I hear myself. I don't. As you know, I'm an illiterate when it comes to this stuff. Yeah, turn it up. I'm going to turn it off. Your mic. Anyway.
Go ahead. I can go eat in the other room.
Yesterday when
get my Stephen Crane sandwich.
As we had
from Vespucci's.
We had a hurry up and wait interesting day yesterday for several reasons, but you sat and watched your little computer next to me, and I watched football all day, and I'm patiently waiting for my man Jimmy, because
I'm a binge watcher.
You're a binge watcher.
I'm a binger.
And I like to watch TV with you, but I haven't been able to get into anything of late.
You fall asleep 15 minutes after everything starts.
Yeah. Well, yesterday I was too busy. And we'll get into this with Jimmy. And I wrote in our little segment, this judge has a case for the Triple Crown. And I know you know these things, but
this is what I'm trying to say. I wanted to say this.
Right.
What I wanted to try differently for today's show is that I love those funny little Facebook posts that you write. They're clever. And so I wanted to share them, but in a Facebook format, right? So this is how you posted it.
Can I take a sip on TV now?
Yeah, like try radio? Try to when I do it, like watch.
What disease would that be though? Like you can't eat on the microphone.
Well, you still don't want to hear me slurp. So
we're having Starbucks today, Ronnie. That doesn't mean we're not washing our sandwiches down with caffeine or water.
Right there.
We'll get into our caffeine later, but both of us need a little jolt.
So if you want to read it, I'll read it for you. It was a clever post with pictures.
Yep.
And you said the judge has a case for the Triple Crown. Do you want to elaborate, or do you want me to read it down?
No, in this case, because I'll get into it with Jimmy, because we're having a guest, and we're gonna. This is what's great about this live show on NewJersey.com. We get to say and do whatever we want, and we could spin around, and we don't have a producer telling us what to do in our ear, right?
Yeah, like you could tell everyone right now when your mother's watching that your wife never gives you compliments. You could do that if you want.
I said everybody gets compliments other than me right now. Yeah, nice face. And you know your chin will start dropping if you continue to do that, just so you know. Anyway, Lou Gehrig was 31 years old in 1934. He won a Triple Crown. Mickey Mantle in 1956 won a Triple Crown. And Aaron Judge is a couple points away from putting himself at the top of the charts to win the Triple Crown. And we're all fixated on this 61 home run chase. He is 1 home run away from tying Mr. Ruth and 2 away from tying Roger Maris and tying the American League all-time record. Now, the argument always comes into play. Bonds holds the record at 73. He was on the juice. He never admitted he was on the juice, all that. So what's the real record? But I guess what we'll do is just there ain't a is there. I don't ever remember in my life watching sports or hearing where a man bet on himself like Aaron Judge and turned down basically $30 million and said, you know, people are making more money. I believe I'm better than that. I'm going to go play the game this year for $19 million. And I'm not going to accept your contract. And we'll talk about it after the end of the season. And if I do good, then we can negotiate then. Yankees, you better find the combination to the safe, because this guy not only did good, he may win the Triple Crown, the first time in 60 years. He may break the Yankee and American League all-time home run record. And most of us purists will argue that it is the baseball record at that point, because although there was a steroid era, I don't believe that should count. There should be an asterisk next to their names. But Mr. Aaron Judge is also, if the Yankees keep him, I feel will be the next captain succeed Derek Jeter, and there's only been a few captains in Yankee history. This guy carries himself like
Speaking of Yankee history.
Go ahead.
Speaking of Yankee history.
We made it on.
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh. How did you play 18 holes already?
No, I only played 4, and then I'm doing this, and then I'm going back out.
Nice. Yeah. You know, I was just talking about the Judge making the case for a Triple Crown, only the 3rd Yankee, Gehrig, Mantle, 60 years. Come on, King, you got to weigh in. You might have to give up your crown and give it to this guy. He's going to win the Triple Crown.
You know, I have no problem doing that with the year that he's having. I mean, this is going to be a historical year. He's going to break the record. Of course, the record held by a Yankee, not necessarily the home run record in baseball, but to break the home run record as a Yankee, everything screams that, okay, Cash, get the checkbook out. Let's go. We got to get this guy signed, because I'm telling you, Tommy Robin, if this guy breaks the record of Maris, has the season that he's having, and we don't re-sign him, do we have the next 100 years of a Yankee curse, just like Babe Ruth?
Well, you better hope that curse doesn't come from Mr. Cohen over in Queens, because he's probably licking his chops to give him $50 million a year for the next 10 years.
There would be a constant booing for years.
Yeah.
Whenever they would talk about management, right? Like the other day,
yes,
we were watching the Jeter thing, and Steinbrenner came out.
Oh yeah,
and they booed him, and I was asking you why.
Yeah, well, even Jeter defended Hal Steinbrenner. I'm not sure why they were booing.
Why did the whole stadium boo him?
I don't know. Sometimes
it's New York.
It's New York.
Yeah,
you know, the only other place worse is Philly. They threw snowballs at Santa Claus, so who knows? But
yes.
So how you feeling, King? Did you just play a little short game? Was that it?
Yep, I brought my 56 degree and my putter, and went out and played 4 holes, and it wasn't too bad. Yeah, I'm getting there, but I'm at the Italian Baseball Federation golf outing here in Engineers in Long Island, and I've got Joe Quagliano and Chris Vaccaro, who run the organization. Chris does all the social media. Joe is the head of the organization, and as you can see behind me, this is our board here.
Love it.
Of course, sponsored by First Nationwide Title, which is the company that I work for.
Right.
All right. And it's the Italian Baseball Federation.
You know, you're starting.
Foundation.
Italian American
You're
Baseball
starting to get like
Federation.
Shaq. You're starting to represent numerous companies now. At this point, I can't even keep up.
Well, at this
You know,
point, I'm just trying to help charities.
I know you are. But listen, of
And
all
the
charities today, we have a birthday party here. Joey's 16, so I'll have a house full of Italians tonight. I got to listen to the Italian to my left, and you got to bring on more Italians on a Monday right out of the box for me.
You want good ratings or not?
I mean,
That's it.
unbelievable.
That's it.
And I still
Yeah.
can't pronounce our lunch
He
sponsor.
still can't pronounce it.
They sent over.
Which
some
one is
sandwich-
this?
It's Vespucci's.
Vespucci.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vespucci.
Wait, I love how we have to use our hands.
You got to do this.
I
Hey,
know.
I was at the San Gennaro Festival last night in Little Italy. You talk about a lot of this hand motion.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
all over the place there last night. So
Oh,
anyway, yeah. So real quick, Tommy, if you don't mind, I'm going to bring on Joe Quagliano. Let him tell you a little bit about the Federation and what they're doing.
Would love
And
it.
Joe's been doing this for now 5?
We're going in our 7th year.
Seventh year. Seventh
Nice,
year.
nice.
Come on over here and sit down, Joe. Come on over. There we go. So this is Joe Quagliano.
Hi, Joe.
Hey, Tommy.
So
How you
Joe,
doing,
tell us a little bit about the Italian Baseball
All
Federation.
right.
Number
Well,
one, how you got involved
okay.
and how it's evolved over the years and what we're doing here today.
well, I was in a golf outing here in Long Island several years ago with Frank Catalanato, a former MLB player. Jim knows well.
Another Irish guy.
Another Irish guy. Yeah. So we were talking like, how come there are no Italian-born MLB players? All the great players were born here in the USA, from DiMaggio to Yogi to Mike Piazza to Anthony Rizzo, but none are born in Italy. So we said, let's figure this out. So we got a group together. We went to Italy. We put on some clinics for kids, and the response was phenomenal. So we got back to the States. We started a foundation, and since then, the foundation has grown tremendously. Jim has been a member of our organizations, come to our galas before, and he's helped raise a lot of money. So we in the past couple of years, we have given about 24 scholarships out.
Wow.
And college scholarships. It's the first time we started was 2 years ago, and we probably have another 10 kids today that are going to get scholarships. We do clinics for kids in Italy, and here in the States. We do college showcases to get kids showcase their talent to colleges, and we got about 4 kids scholarships that way. So it's working. We're starting from the grassroots, and we're developing the kids slowly, but it's working.
Changing lives. I love it.
Well, our co-host, my wife, Robin Delory,
Hi, Robin.
Hi, Joe.
is a singer, and when you need her out there to sing some Italian songs, she'll do that for you too. That's what she.
She can
Hey,
be.
yes,
She
absolutely.
was on Broadway before, so she's
Yeah.
she's-
Well,
Let's go.
I love how you're just like, you're giving me more jobs.
Well, I'm trying to get work for you.
Oh,
you know,
thanks.
but Joe, that's really
exposure. I do it with my hand. Exposure, Robin.
Exposure.
exposure. Joe, what's the results? Do you see kids taking interest over in Italy? And it's America's dream sport still. And people can argue the NFL is, but we all know that American everybody's picked up a glove, a ball, or a bat sometime in their life, even if they decided as they got older they didn't play. What's the
Right.
results going on over there?
It's a different story in Italy, Tom. It's let's face it, soccer is the big game over there,
Right.
and we're not here to replace soccer. We never will. They love soccer, but our goal is to get kids more involved. To develop the sport at the grassroots level and get them to play baseball, whether it's us donating equipment for them to play or helping fix their fields. They need help from that level, and they need coaches bad. So our goal here is to develop the game from the youth side.
Joe, what
yes.
what got you inspired to do this?
Well, like I said, we were looking for we want to get kids from Italy into college then to the major leagues. So it's a work in
Nice.
progress.
Okay.
Joe's nickname, even before he started this foundation, he called him Mr. Baseball. He was always around the game. He runs a company called Mint Pros, which hires a lot of us to go do suite appearances and things at Yankee Stadium. And that's another one of the jobs that Joe has. Does a lot of tours, a lot of stadium suites. Last week, we just honored Matsui in the suite for Mint Pros. We have another one coming up this weekend.
Yep, with Bucky Dent and Mike Torres.
Bucky Dent and Mike Torres, which will be a
Ah.
nice.
As Jimmy
Yankees
knows,
first force, so.
Big Taco, one of my favorite. When Jimmy and I were with the Newark Bears, Mike was my pitching coach and then my GM, and I think it's great how him and Bucky go out there and promote the game. Let's face it, as a Yankee fan, one of the greatest home runs ever. Also, you got that guy sitting next to you has hit one of the greatest ever. But I'm going to ask you this question. He sure did. I'm going to ask you this question, and then I'll ask Robin. I think I know the answer, Joe. Who's your favorite Italian player?
Well, I would say right now Mike Piazza. I mean, he was a great player. I'm a little bit older than Mike, so my idols should be younger than me, older than me, but I'm older than Mike.
Well, and they honored Mike at one of the Italian Baseball Federation dinners. And of course, Mike is coaching Team Italy, I believe, this year.
And he is coaching Team Italy. And Mike will be our honoree this year on December 1 in Giando's in Brooklyn.
Okay.
Now, where in Italy is this?
This is going to be in Brooklyn.
No. When you go to and another question.
The World Baseball Classic has teams from everywhere. It's part of the major leagues, and it'll be in spring training of this year. And Team Italy will be coached by Mike Piazza.
But when you go to Italy and you do clinics there, right?
We've had our clinics from Sicily all the way to Tuscany.
Where's your favorite?
You know what? They're all beautiful. They're all in their own way. They're all beautiful, But I like Sicily. Messina was very nice, and I like Anzio. We went to the American Cemetery in Anzio, and that was spectacular.
Yeah.
I mean, really amazing. But the kids, no matter where we go, are so receptive to us. They want to play baseball, and they come out there. They got secondhand gloves, broken bats with nails in them, and yet they want to play. So it's a different level. And, like I said, they need help in many different ways. So we're trying to provide that for them.
That's amazing. That really is amazing.
Yeah.
Good for you. I mean, congratulations on all of that work. I'm sure it's a lot of work, but very rewarding.
Well,
very
Robin,
rewarding.
you know this better than anybody. We have a huge Italian community that I married into and live into in this community, but in New Jersey as a whole. So there's a lot of listeners. Joe, Jimmy, we'll post whatever fundraising you're doing or whatever, however we can help. We're on this great new station called On New Jersey, simply onnewjersey.com, and we're streaming and Facebook and YouTube, and we'll help get the word out. I know this Italian beauty next to me would love to help anything Italian. It's one of our favorite things to do. And we actually are very close to the Columbian Foundation out here, which my brother, I laugh at this, was Man of the Year a couple years ago. I did tell them, I said, my brother's Polish-Irish, right? And they honored him as one of the Italians of the year. Jimmy, you were there.
I'm an honorary Italian with this group too.
Right.
I'm 100% German. So
hey, Jimmy has been a big help raising money for us, though, and that's what matters.
Joe, you're doing what I call at the end of our day. You like people to say you made a difference in life, and you're making a difference in people's lives, and I think that's pretty cool. So anytime you want an audience, we'd love to have you on, or if you want to promote. Yeah, promote it, Jimmy, from wherever. And
I was just going to say we have tickets to the suite, but we don't have any tickets left. It's sold out. So
that's
I was
great.
See if anybody would come Saturday, but
Tommy and Robin, I appreciate that.
So Tommy and Robin, put December 1st on your calendar.
Yes, we will definitely be there.
You guys have to come. Mike Piazza.
Would love to.
He's bringing a lot of his students.
Wait, I can meet Mike Piazza?
Yes, you
can.
He'll
be there. Yeah, he'll be there.
Be still my heart.
But Robin, you may have to sing the Italian national anthem.
Done.
Do you sing Italian?
She does, yeah.
Of course.
Great.
I'll tell you, she sings "Mama" better than Connie Francis, where I watched 400 men bawling their eyes out. So,
Robin, I'll give him some of your work.
Yeah.
So he sees how good you are.
That'd be great.
You.
Well, thanks, Joe. It was a pleasure having you on.
You getting the word out, of course, and we'll do the same on our end.
So real quick, how do we, Chris? Christopher Carl is here right now.
Yeah, just
Hey, Chris.
IABF.
So they can search IABF.
Okay.
And
That's it. Just IABF, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, IABF.
We'll link that up with all our social media and run this little clip. This has been great, Joe, because I think baseball in no matter what language or nationality, it needs a little jump start. We're starting to slip away a little. So I think we need to start. It needs to be more international, and it can't just be, people from,
Well, that's the thing, Tom. You hit some sensitive subject with us. We see a lot of money from MLB going to a lot of countries.
Yeah.
Central America, South America, the islands, but we don't see anything going to the European countries, especially Italy. So we're working with MLB trying to change that as well.
Joe, and
We're getting some good names behind it. We got Mike Piazza, we got Johnny Franco, Lee Mazzilli. Some good names for the Italian community. So
right.
Joe
I stopped myself because I was starting to get politically correct, and it's exactly what you just said. Like, hey, what about us? What about the DiMaggios and the Berras and the people? We're not like trying to shortchange anybody, but don't forget the heroes of the past too. And there is that DiMaggio, there may be that Berra, there may be that Piazza somewhere out there, and you don't have the means or the fields to play on. So good for you, Joe. We would love to help you in any way we can.
All we need to do is find out one Mike Piazza, born in Italy, put him in Major League Baseball, and all the kids in Italy would open their eyes and say, hey, we could do this too.
Right
there we
before
go,
you
Messi.
guys, what? Right before you guys came on, we were talking, and maybe you would know the answer to this. He asked me like a trivia question about who's your favorite Italian manager. He said Italian manager.
I said player.
You said whatever. We'll go back to the tape.
All right.
But anyway, I yelled out Bobby Valentine. So my question is, and he said, and I actually don't know the answer. I said he probably is because he's handsome. But is he Italian?
He is 100% Italian.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's been part of the organization too.
He's one of our honorees. He's part of our organization. Yes.
And the one Robin, I think the one he was looking for was Tommy Lasorda. Because that was Mr. Italian right there.
Okay.
Nobody better than him. Nobody better than him.
And he's the one that was friends with Mike Piazza's dad. Is that the story?
That's
Yes,
exactly
that's how
right.
it started.
The car dealership?
That's right. That's right.
God rest his soul. Tommy was one of the most. If he was alive today, he'd be behind this organization pushing it through Major League Baseball quickly. But unfortunately, we lost him before we could really get the momentum going here.
But both to the both of you, your earlier point, again, like they're spreading this money all around, and it's justified. Dominican, out to Puerto Rico, Japan. But damn it, what about Italy? What about the greats of the past that carried this damn game for so many years? And
we just want a slice of the pie. We don't want to be left out. We don't want the whole pie. We just want our share,
If we're going to make it an international game, let's build off the fathers that started it with us.
That's right.
I go back to, not to really date myself and my age, but Joe Garagiola and Yogi Berra, right? They grew up together. They grew up together. Joe Pepitone, right? I mean, so like, I wish you luck. I think this is great. In any way we can help you, we're part of anything Jimmy does, Joe. And it was
absolutely
a pleasant surprise to have yet another Italian day.
I mean, you can't get away with it. You can't get away from it.
I can't get away with it. I just can't.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, we're here. We're here to stay.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank
Joe.
you. So nice to meet
happy
you.
Columbus Day to everybody.
Yeah, happy Columbus Day coming.
A subject for another day, right?
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Bye,
All right.
Joe.
So there you go.
That was awesome.
That's great. That's great.
You never know what's going to come up on a Monday.
Right.
Or live on NewJersey.com. And you know what? And we have a huge Italian community that follows. And that's exciting, Jimmy. And I know you do a lot of different things, like I always mention, but Robin does too for the Italian community, and she's beloved in this area. And I make a joke that, I came up here as an Irish Polish guy. I'm the only one that's not Italian in a 10-mile area up here. But it's
Speaking of somebody from this area that gives back like crazy,
yeah,
is our friend John Ganello
right
of Say It.
from
Say it.
Vespucci.
Thank you. And he's always awarded, you know,
he was the Italian Man of the Year.
like every time there's an Italian Man of the Year, he's awarded it.
But John's my guy from North.
We're gonna have to get Vespucci as part of a sponsor for IBF.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh! You
And-
know
and
what?
let me-
He would
let me tell you
love
something
to
about
do
that.
Does he like baseball?
Well,
Wait,
not
are you
only does he
kidding
like
me?
it,
You want to take over and tell them?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
his
fine.
son, Junior, Johnny Junior, there.
This is the most-
He's a sophomore now with our Joey, but started varsity pitching as a freshman, number 22, and he could play, Jimmy. We get caught up in this when they're younger and stuff, but it's John and Carrie's pride and joy, their only child, and he's a player. So John is also a
Loves baseball.
Yankee season ticket holder and has been for years. Yankee sponsor on the Fan. I'm doing too much promoting for the Ganellos. I got to get a couple more sandwiches from
Yeah,
the
let's go.
from the whatever it's called. Whatever. I'm going to ask them to change the name of the deli to something Polish.
Oh yeah, that'll work.
You know, so I can pronounce it better.
Well,
What
listen,
other news we got going on? Hey, by the way, tomorrow
Yeah.
we're gonna shift gears. We'll be going to the sport of basketball. And I will be coming live from the John Starks Foundation tomorrow. And we'll have Jennifer Alpert and John Starks to talk a little bit about what they're doing. John's probably going to be out on the golf course, but we'll have Jennifer Alpert probably on from his foundation to tell us a little bit about what they're doing with the Garden of Dreams and everything that John does for scholarships for young kids. So
might
we'll
have
switch our gears.
might have the greatest poster ever.
Yes, the dunk of Michael Jordan.
The dunk.
Yep.
And I showed it
Yep.
to you recently in the Garden. Robin sang at the Garden. You were there with us. And I said, Rob, you got to see this. It's called The Dunk. And it was over the greatest Michael Jordan, John Starks. John Starks does tremendous. Jimmy, I know you've been involved with him for many, many years. He does tremendous stuff for the area too. Another great guy. So that's good. That'll be fun.
well,
yeah.
I have to say, I'm just blown away by I'm just blown away by the Italian American Baseball Foundation.
Well, of course you are.
No, it's just a nice.
Are you going to meet Mike Piazza?
Well, that's a plus.
Well, she's really excited about that. Yeah.
Well, IABF on all social networks, on all platforms of IABF,
right.
and that's I never thought about that. I just never thought about Italy and baseball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And what about all these kids that not everybody can play soccer? Or what do they call it?
Well,
There?
it's football over there. That's their football,
Yeah.
I mean, we obviously, our dear friend owns a professional soccer team over in Italy, as you would say. And that same aforementioned friend introduced me to Mr. Mike Torres, Rob Playtech, Jimmy.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
Yep. And also, speaking of Rob, I'll have to send him this clip. Played basketball. John Starks played in the morning men's league after he retired, and John was on his team. So, but 1 degree of separation, as they say. Yeah, I think it's great, Robin. And honestly, what I said to Joe, I meant it is great that we're trying to make baseball an international game, and I love it. But what about the fathers that started it? And it wasn't easy being an Italian player back in the day either.
It wasn't easy being Italian in general.
Right.
So it's very, this is a great thing. I remember my father saying, don't you dare name your children. If you have a boy, don't you dare name him Gennaro. And I said, why? He said, Rob, it wasn't easy growing up, like with a name like and I didn't understand it because that's not the climate we live in now. But so I get it, and this really strikes a chord for me because I think it's great, and a lot of selfless, wonderful work being done with something that you wouldn't even think of that needs to be done, if that makes any sense.
And I'm not making a joke out of it, and you're right. But are you also trying to justify a trip to Italy?
Well, I mean, I did think about that.
Yeah,
I did think, let's go see them wherever they are. That we'll do a show from there.
Yeah, we'll do a show from there. Jimmy, we're going to go to Italy and do a show from there from New Jersey. We might as well. What the hell, So,
I mean, I'm
Well, you know
game.
what we could do, though, TC? What we could do is when the World Baseball Classic comes here, if there's the team from Italy is playing anywhere close, we could do a live stream right from. Have Mike Piazza on the show.
I'm gonna faint.
That would be, we had Mr. Piazza out at Bear Stadium. He shot a 3-day commercial for Claritin for allergies back in the day. And Mike couldn't have been a nicer guy and a gentleman. And they were shooting a commercial, and he was a pro on and off the field. So Hall of Famer. I got to meet him through you, Jimmy, when we went up to see Rock inducted and Tim Raines into the Hall of Fame. But Jimmy and him were a couple tables away for signing autographs up there. So Mike's a pretty unassuming guy, right? Wouldn't you agree, Jimmy? I mean, it's good to see him lead in Italy as the manager.
Yeah. No, it's one of those things that I think baseball is starting to recognize that we can be a difference and make a difference with other teams or other
nations.
Team to spit it out. Other nations,
right?
We're going to Saudi Arabia now, to Dubai. We're starting baseball in Dubai, and I think it's good. I think it's it's something that Major League Baseball has done such a great job of promoting the game in these different areas that we're starting to get interest. And the only way to be able to keep the interest is to send people over there that have a name that maybe people recognize or a connection some way. And who better than Mike Piazza to go over to Italy and try to to get kids interested. And like Joe said, all of a sudden you find this one kid who's been playing soccer the whole time because he grew up with soccer, who has all this ability and athleticism and can play baseball and might get a chance to become a minor leaguer or even an independent league kid. We could start a whole new trend. And that's all it would take to get a nation behind, hey, let's start putting more money behind baseball.
No doubt. And, speaking of managers of the World Baseball Classic, our dear friend and guest on our radio, and more important, like a family member to us, Andy Skeels, who was New Zealand's first manager. He was born in New Zealand, and but congratulations to our friend Andy Skeels, who this past weekend went into the Hall of Fame at the University of Arkansas, where he was an All-American. So congratulations to Mr. Andy
Congratulations.
Skeels. Yeah, and we'll have him on later.
I didn't realize he was a Razor.
Yeah, he was a Razorback. A Razorback, and hit one of the most dramatic World Series, College World Series home runs. And then went on, as we know, was your backup with the Yankees in the minor leagues, and jokes around that you stopped his career at the Yankees, and then he went to San Diego, and he was behind Benito Santiago and Alomar. But Skeelsy went on to have a great coaching career with the San Francisco Giants and won 3 World Series there.
We love having him on this show.
He's great, but
he is great. He fills in for you, Jimmy. You know that.
And his brother Mark, who went to Stanford and played, was Mike Mussina, the great Yankee catcher, and David Skeels also played in the Rangers organizations. 3 brothers, all had a taste of MLB.
They have any Italian in them?
New Zealand. Did you miss that part that he was the manager from New Zealand? But anyway, no.
Just trying to recruit.
Jimmy, we got about 15 minutes left. We can't not talk about the Giants 2-0, which hung tight yesterday.
Where'd you watch it yesterday?
Did you hear? I'm not exact, but I heard this before. It's the first time, I think, since 2009 that every team in New York that played a sport yesterday won.
You see where
the Jets, the Giants, the Yankees, and the Mets.
You see where my brother has a slight, not where he heard it. He heard it because I wrote it on his page, on his Facebook page. The first time since 2009, the Yankees, Mets, Giants, and Jets won. You heard it from me, damn it! You heard it from me. Jesus, I'm up all night while you two are sleeping, writing these facts down and doing my homework, and you two steal the show every day. But yes, that's correct. 2009 was the last time all 4 won on the same day. Is that amazing?
I had to put that out there for you, Tommy.
I appreciate that. And then I call them the Florham Park Jets because they're 2 miles away from us here, and we could still hear them screaming. They had a celebration in their locker room like they won the Super Bowl, because they won. They had a miracle minute. They had no chance of winning and wind up throwing a bomb. Joe Flacco, Delaware University. That's where our
You
little,
just like throwing salt in the wound.
yeah, Michael just left this morning for back to Delaware University. Her son,
University of Delaware.
same whatever. Who cares? But Flacco threw the touchdown. Nobody recovers an onside kick anymore. Nobody. They do. And Flacco, the old Super Bowl champ, came out and drove him right down the field, and the Jets win the game, and they're 1-1 now. Good for the Jets. That was exciting.
I wish I cared.
I know. But one more of your favorite team, Jimmy, that I know you followed, and I watched the game while she was watching something. How about the Dolphins coming back from 35-14 against the Ravens? I mean, that game was over, and the Dolphins come back and win the game.
Well, it's funny because I usually go out to a place right down the street from my apartment to watch all the games on TV because I can't get them all at the same time. And yesterday I left there early and I went home, and I never heard of Red Zone TV.
Oh,
Have you ever heard this?
That's all I watched.
Yeah, that's how we watch.
Oh my
it.
God, I will never watch anything else.
I don't like.
I'll never watch anything else again.
Switches
Because
too
they're
much.
popping you in the red zone 20 minutes, and you're watching every game right there instead of being bored to
I
tears.
need to commit to a game. Like it gives
Well,
me
commit to a
stress.
game.
You can't even commit. Give me a
It gives
break.
me
And listen,
agita.
the great thing about it was, and it's not going to happen every weekend, but this weekend, the 1 o'clock games and the 4 o'clock games all went down to the wire, like at least 4 or 5 at the same time. And it was the most crazy thing to watch. And like you said, watching the Dolphins, watching Arizona, watching all those teams at the same time. But what really killed me, TC and Robin, was I was watching the Arizona game.
Right.
And Arizona wound up being the only game left when they tied it up with the 2-point conversion. And they came on the air and said, by the way, part of Red Zone's policy, if there's only one game, we have to go off the air.
Oh,
And so I couldn't even watch the over. I couldn't watch the overtime because it wasn't on the station.
But they were on CBS.
I know. I had to switch over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I switched over.
I just I got to tell you something. It was a good day of football, and I'm not saying the Giants, like Robin said, slow down before you came on. Slow down, everybody. 2-0. They got a lot to prove, but there seems like to be a different little bit of a temperature and atmosphere with the new coach. He's teaching them how to win as opposed to going out there and waiting to lose. And I hope the same thing will be happening with the Jets soon.
Listen, as far as the Giants go, you know what? It takes a while for Daniel Jones to get comfortable. It took Eli a couple years. He's finding his way. Barkley is back and running well. I mean, and our defense is still one of the top defenses. So it's not much to get excited about, but I'm going to tell you this. I've been a Giants fan since Eli. And the bottom line is usually at this time of year, I'm starting to go, okay, 0-2. Let's go back to watching playoff baseball because the football's over with.
And speaking of that, you're watching Red Zone yesterday, and I missed it, and I go on, and I hear Judge hit number 58, and so then I'm like, Rob, you got to. This is history. He comes up, boom. I mean, Michael Kay wasn't even done with the call, and it was almost out of the stadium again. 59. It's not like he's scraping the wall with these shots. He's hitting bombs. He was 4 for 5. And the ball he hit the hardest might have been that first out when he hit it to dead center.
Yeah.
The center fielder makes an unbelievable catch over his shoulder. But, I didn't even look, Jimmy. Are they off tonight, the Yankees, or they're playing?
Yeah, yes, they're off tonight. They play Pittsburgh Tuesday and Wednesday. Then they have a 4-game series with Boston. And I have a feeling, listen, a lot of people think he's going to have a Derek Jeter day tomorrow and just go 5 for 5 with 3 home runs and break the record. And, just like Jeter did the day that he got his 3,000th hit and everything else. I'm hoping he does it Wednesday because tomorrow night I'll be at the Starks event and I'll miss tomorrow night's game. But I hope he does it Wednesday because I'll be there from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But I think he gets it done this.
You know how the baseball gods love to stick it up the Red Sox, you know what. So that's when he's breaking that record. I mean, just one more time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just going to happen.
Hey, speaking of, before we get off the whole Italian subject, I thought this caught me funny, and it's another restaurant I won't be able to announce, but down at Atlantic Highlands in New Jersey, which is Monmouth County, and we had our daughter, Brett, lived in Fairhaven, and the town right over. This caught me funny. Two of the top 50 pizza places in America, in this country, are from New Jersey, and number 2 being from the Atlantic Highlands. And the name of the restaurant is?
It's called Una Pizza Napolitana.
Jimmy, they say you got to have like a 2-day wait before you can go get a pizza there. They're only open certain hours.
What was number 1?
I didn't care. I don't like being number 2. I didn't really care. Probably somewhere in Chicago we're number 1. New Jersey's number 1. We had 2 in the top
I was about
5.
to say, when you poll pizza places in the whole country, you can literally eliminate like 45 states from the contest altogether. California
Can't
being
be
one
truer
of
than
them.
that. And
Like,
and
get rid of
bagels.
that altogether, California, for pizza, because it's got a lot of beautiful things about California. Obviously, we love California, but pizza is not.
Where's your
it's not
favorite
one
in
of
New
them.
York, Jimmy?
Favorite pizza, Patsy's.
Patsy's. Yeah.
Oh,
But
I love-
I take that back. I take that back. That's my favorite in New York. Well, no, Brooklyn's New York. Well,
Yeah.
my favorite pizza in Brooklyn is obviously Grimaldi's. Because I live in Lower Manhattan, I can't tell you how many times since May I've walked over that bridge from the Brooklyn Bridge, and gone over and had some pizza at Grimaldi's. because
Really?
That's one of the better pizza places too.
Now, I need you to tell Joe, if he's still there or at some point today, tell him, because he's going to be as shocked as I was to hear this, that you never had a Taylor ham, egg, and cheese.
I know.
I still can't get over it.
Where's
Well,
Joe?
and then
Joe live in
and
Long
then I'm going
Island?
to give a little bit of love also to Carmine's in Brooklyn too, because Carmine's is one of the better ones. He's actually one of the sponsors of IABF also. So
Nice. Carmine's. We should
Carmine-
go.
I've been to
Yeah.
Carmine's.
We should do like a pizza
I've been
tour.
Carmine.
I don't know anything really about New York pizza, except I've been to Patsy's and it's out of this world. But besides that, you can't really get a bad slice of pizza in New York.
No, you're right. You're right about that. But it doesn't matter because we're a New Jersey-based channel, all New Jersey, and we're number 2 in the country.
Yep.
Say it again. How do you pronounce it?
Pizza Napolitana.
And what about this?
Basically, they're probably from Naples.
What about
Vespucci's.
Vespucci's, the Ganellos. We're gonna go out when Jimmy is off a day to come over to New Jersey during or on an
Oh,
off
we're
day.
going to do a
baseball.
show from there.
That's what I said. We're gonna go
Yeah.
do a show right from there, and I still won't be able to pronounce it. But
I think
we'll
that's
have
the
a big
funniest
signing.
thing. I don't want you to learn how to pronounce it
Yeah, what can I
because
tell
it's
you?
funny that you would say it wrong.
Jimmy. Jimmy, the other thing we talked about, just your opinion as an athlete, and I know nobody wishes anybody any bad luck in anything, but the man, as we joked about on our radio show, the perfect looking man, the perfect athlete, Tom Brady, announced separated from Giselle a little bit right this moment, working through it, hopefully. Seemed a little frustrated. Didn't he? Just out of character yesterday, throwing the tablet on the sideline, screaming at his players, never shows up as players. Just goes to show you, sometimes you do bring your work home and sometimes you bring your family life to work. He's a human being. Obviously, still got it done. 2-0. First time they beat the Saints in the last 4 tries. Did you get to see Mr. Brady? What are you thinking about Miss Brady? I mean, is it something that he just can't let go, Jimmy? Even though he looked his wife in the eyes and said, "I'm retired," he just couldn't let it go.
Yeah, listen, I think it was one of those things that the way it ended last year, he felt like he had to come back, and try to get that one last title. And I don't blame him. You know what? I always say this. You don't want a husband retiring from a sport that he feels like he didn't leave on his own terms, because that's something that over the next 20 years could have an effect on that relationship. And I think, granted, I understand why she's upset. The kids are getting older. They want their dad at home, and I get all that. But then again, this is Tom Brady. You married into this.
Yeah.
And you know what? Let him retire on his terms. Let him go out when he feels it's ready. And, there's no doubt in my mind, Tommy, Robin, that this will be it, because I think Tom does it. He cherishes his family. He cherishes his kids. And I think this is just something that they're trying to work through. I think the media is distorting it more than anybody's ever realized. There is no way these two are splitting up, but they're just going through a tough time right now, and they're having some issues. And I don't see them. And again, I don't know anything about him. I don't know Tom Brady as a friend, even as someone I could pick up the phone and say, Tommy, is everything okay? I couldn't do that. But
Right.
from somebody that's been through it, someone that, there's certain times you leave the game. And I think he knows after this year, there's no doubt that he's done.
Well, I remember, and you wrote a book, so it's not like I'm out on you. I remember you and I going for a walk on the Bears field out to center field, and you said, TC, I don't know if I'm ready to give up the game yet, and you shouldn't, because you still could have played. You said, but I got 3 boys, and I got to take care of them. And I said, the greatest title you'll ever have, Jim, is dad. Don't ever forget that. Yeah. And you knew that already. I didn't need to tell you that. But Brady, it's tough, man. I could see, but he's also walking into a 10-year, $325 million Fox contract too. So it softens the blow.
Yeah, but here's the thing. First of all, they don't need any money in that family. Between him and Giselle, they don't need any more money.
Right.
But here's my problem. Here's my caution to Giselle. Be careful what you ask for, because when he retires, he won't be home 6 days a week. He'll be on the road doing games. He's going to have to prepare more than he's probably preparing for a football game on a regular basis to be an announcer. So I don't know, as much as that money's great and it's a great thing, I don't even know if maybe next year he does retire, if he goes into TV and radio, that he's not gone even more. Right now he's home practicing 6 days or 5 days a week, and he leaves on Saturday and Sunday. Those kids have their father all those days. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does even after this year, whether or not this TV thing becomes a reality or not, and how much time that will take him away from his family also.
Yeah. Like we say in Newark, New Jersey, who don't know that? Because I had to put the time in for 3 hours to do some work for today's show to tell you that in 2009, 4 teams won on the same damn day. So I can appreciate that.
With a few minutes we have left, I just want to try to get in some of these Facebook posts.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes.
We have Adrian Bauer saying Joe is okay. Don't worry.
Oh, thank
okay.
God.
She said, "Happy Monday, everyone." Okay, happy Monday, Adrian. Joe is okay. Don't worry.
Yeah, Joe, we're worried about Joe.
We also have Joe Caruso.
Yep.
You can read it.
Jimmy's
I put it up on the
friend.
screen.
Yankees, Giants, Jets, men's IAB, great organization. Sue and I going to Italy in March, going to bring my glove.
And then he said IABF. Sorry.
IABF. Yeah.
So he's going to.
Yeah, Joe's a good man.
And he's even wearing is that, I can't see, a Yankee.
That's his fantasy camp.
Yeah.
That's his fantasy camp uniform.
Jimmy's his manager.
Nice.
Yes, I'm Joe's manager, and he's one of my best pitchers.
Nice.
Ronnie, which I know, Jimmy, I see your bottle of caffeine right in front of you. Joe's Famous Pizzeria, New York City, #1. Caffeine water. As I sit here and sip on a Starbucks, Robin's got her black cherry on ice over here.
So now, wait a minute. Joe's Famous Pizza in New York City. Where is that located so I can go to it?
Yeah, Ronnie, how about a little more information than Joe's Famous
Tell me
Pizza?
where that's located, Ron.
Or is that left for me? I'll look it up in the middle of the night like I do everything else. I mean, but I know this. Caffeina is about to explode. We'll be announcing some new news in the very near future. They are kicking butt. You can get it on Amazon.com. Robin, I know you've adjusted to your little caffeine. I had mine yesterday during the game. Still didn't stop me from falling asleep watching your shows. But that being said, love my black cherry caffeine on ice. 2 minutes, 1 minute to go. Jimmy, we look forward. Thank you for breaking up your day. Pleasant surprise having Joe on as our guest. We'll definitely look to help out and support that. That's great stuff. Look forward to seeing what Italy could do with Mr. Piazza as their manager in the upcoming year.
And we'll be live tomorrow. I'll be live tomorrow at the John Starks Foundation in Tamarack Country Club. And we'll have some interesting guests on again tomorrow.
Awesome. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Jimmy. And thank you to Joe
Yep.
from IABF.
Joe
Quagliano.
Quagliano.
Yeah.
Hey.
Thank you. Joe Quagliano and Vespucci's.
And Vespucci's. Our
Ciao.
Ciao.
A domani.
We'll see you tomorrow on